Good morning.
Good morning.
How are we? Start loud and strong there.
I know. Sorry, was I peaking a bit?
Yeah, no, you're good. I'm checking the dials.
We're still within the levels, yeah?
Yeah.
All
Happy
right.
Monday.
Happy Monday.
We've got episode 22.
I think it's 22 now.
22.
Still going strong, guys and girls. Thank you for listening.
We can now drink in America. Well, we could have drunk in America last year. Last week.
True,
We can
yeah.
drink in America more now.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So we're going to get into it, as I always say. We're going to dive straight into that swimming pool.
Straight in. But before we go into the, if you didn't already know,
Excuse
there,
me.
it's just got a small DLC, courtesy of Ant's Biz. Shout out right there. He corrected me.
Oh.
Actually, on some information. I was trying to freestyle some information last week on our Dan Hibiki from Street Fighter fame.
Oh, yeah.
But he duly corrected me, so thank you. And the information reads as such.
Izzy Shoto.
No.
Oh, right. Yeah. Cool.
So he was introduced in Street Fighter, as we know, consistently portrayed as an overconfident, arrogant, and utterly feeble character. In the series storyline, Dan was a student trained by Goken.
Oh,
He was trained by Goken,
right.
Who also trained Ken and Ryu, and is the elder brother of Akuma. Goken stopped training Dan because he would only train for selfish reasons. Dan's goal is to defeat Sagat, who killed Go, Dan's father, in a brutal fight that resulted in the loss of Sagat's right eye. So there's a couple of bits of information there, actually.
So it's actually a bit of a thing there.
Yeah, so strong beef.
Okay.
After Sagat pretending that he was defeated, Dan opens an unsuccessful school for his fighting style, Saikyo Ryu, strongest style.
Obviously.
So
Dan. I'm just gonna start school called hard as nails. I'm gonna start school just called like no one's tougher than me. All right.
So yeah, that was the information. So shout out to Ant again. Thank you very much for that, for pulling us up on that. You know,
correction.
We want to keep people informed properly.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else?
That's it from me for now. I mean, got a little bit of news.
Yeah. So my boys.
Your boys.
Witcher 3, CD Projekt Red. So CD Projekt Red, developers of The Witcher 3, have reportedly enforcing mandatory crunch on Cyberpunk 2077.
Wow. I mean...
and this is after they turned around and said in May 2019 that the studio would have a non-obligatory crunch policy, meaning staff may be asked to work nights and weekends, but we're not required to do so. And unfortunately, the team... now it's saying, this is on Game Industry Biz, the employees have been told that working 6 days per week will be mandatory.
I mean...
Getting ready for this November's launch.
You see how it is. Like, you know, we've held CD Projekt Red in such high regard.
Yeah.
You know, not without reason, but dude.
Yeah.
It's a little bit saddening.
So they've said that, you know, they're going to go into a 6 day a week mandatory work week. And at the time, this is the Bad House. Sorry if I said this wrong. One of the developers emphasized over the course of a 4 to 5 year production, like Cyberpunk 2077, there will only be brief periods of crunch in the run-up to E3 presentation, for example. Right. But most of the time, the production will be as normal. But unfortunately, this isn't the case. They have been forced to crunch, and they're going to be crunching for 6 days a week up to the release date. The current situation stems from CD Projekt Red's desire to eliminate the remaining glitches and bugs in Cyberpunk 2077. As its November 19 launch date approaches, the game has already been sent to be certified by PlayStation and Xbox. Then it says they completely acknowledge the fact that the mandatory 6 day weeks breaks the promises they made last year. He did say it's also in direct opposition to what I personally grew to believe a while back, that crunch should never be the answer, but we've extended all other possible means of navigating the situation.
To be fair to them, sorry to cut you off, to be fair to them, I mean, this year is very different from last year. I mean, I don't know if current situations has probably fed straight into that. They're probably working on something slightly north of a skeleton crew, and they're just saying, look, you guys have to...
We've got to step it up a little bit more now.
Each of you are now 3 departments each. Like, crack on. You know what I mean?
He said, these last 6 weeks are our final sprint on the project we've all spent much of our lives on. Something we care for deeply. The majority of the team understands that push, especially in light of the fact that we've just sent the game to cert, and every day brings us visibly closer to shipping game we want to be proud of. This is one of the hardest decisions I've had to make, but everyone is well compensated for every extra hour they put in. And like in recent years, 10% of the annual profit of our company generates in 2020 will be split directly among the team. This game comes out in November. So we're on this thing where it's like PS5, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. It'll make a lot of money in 2020.
Yeah.
But that's a short run. Like, is that kind of like, you know, they'll get 10% of what it makes in November, December, and then that's a wrap. So if PS5 makes bang, they get nothing.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that 10%. They could get more. It's CD Projekt Red. They've made, like, we've talked about this before.
They're the biggest company in Europe now, right?
Yeah, exactly. They made double bank on The Witcher 3 after the last series came out. We know that this game is going to be good. They're going to make loads of money, so why 10%? Why just 10%?
I think at the end of the day, it's still going to be a huge sum of money, but it's just interesting how they've gone down that route, and I think they're trying to soften the blow of actually causing a, causing a massive backlash about this mandatory thing.
Yeah.
So there's that. Electronic Arts.
Oh yeah, what have they done now?
EA, oh God, it's always the same.
I know.
EA are under fire for
give us something
FIFA
positive,
loot boxes. EA are under fire for promoting FIFA loot boxes in toy catalog.
Whoa, wait, stop. Toy catalogs.
Toy catalogs.
As in, like, you know, when we were youths and thing, and we'd pick up like, the Argos catalog. I like how we both went there. The Argos catalog.
The Argos catalog, because that was the only toy catalog I've ever really had.
Yeah, true.
I never really kind of dabbled in anything else, so it's kind of, I don't really know where else. But yeah, anyway, so Electronic Arts Electronic Arts publisher faces criticism from promoting FIFA's in-game purchases in a child's toy catalogue. VGC reports the publication in question is the latest in-store magazine from UK retailer Smith's Toys, which featured an advertisement for FIFA 21 centered around the Ultimate Team mode. The ad listed the 4 steps of playing Ultimate Team, with step 2 being use FIFA points to open packs. FIFA points are the virtual currency Electronic Arts sell specifically for the Ultimate Team mode, with the player packs being the sports series' equivalent of randomized loot boxes, or surprise mechanics, as EA prefers to call them.
Those surprise mechanics, yeah.
So this is GameIndustry.biz. So basically what they're saying is they've got a step-by-step guide in this toy catalog on how to buy or how to spend money in the game to get points to buy stuff for the Ultimate Team mode. Image of the app was shared via Twitter with the hashtag "This isn't okay," while the other users shared an image of an in-store promotion with a similar message. The in-store placement also pushed the use of FIFA points and specifically advertised wallet top-ups for the PlayStation Store, telling kids how to buy currency in their games.
How is
and you must be hitting them young if you're going for toy catalogs.
Well, of course,
that's just shameless. That's
dark.
Something else. Yeah, that's really like,
who in those board meetings are saying, yeah, this is okay? Like, that's soulless.
Yeah, and they're in trouble in California that they're violating the state's gambling laws, and here in the UK, the government is currently calling for evidence, both positive and negative, around concerns about loot boxes. Following a lengthy inquiry last year, a committee for the Department of Digital Culture, Media and Sport, that's a thing, recommended that paid loot boxes should adhere to the regulation of gambling laws and call for a ban on selling games with loot boxes to children. Amen, brother. I think that should be the case.
Yeah, it should be the case yesterday.
They just should have them in the game. It should just be like, look, I mean, at this point, EA, you must be making a lot of money, and we understand that, but we'll reach a point where this must be more grief than good. You were getting so much shade. You're getting so much bad press.
Yeah.
You're being so awful that at this point, it must get to a point where you're like, this just isn't worth it. Unless, I'm wrong, I don't know the numbers, unless they must be earning billions to be like, yeah, you know what? It's a small price to pay for.
Yeah. But here's the other side of it, though. They, they're advertising these things in toy catalogs. And the toy catalogs are allowing this. Like, they're actively taking this on.
Well, they're just paying for it, right?
I don't know, man. They must be getting something out of it. I don't know. Obviously, it just doesn't sit right. You know, they're kids, man.
They're kids.
Leave the kids alone.
It doesn't make sense. So yeah, that's happening. PS5 pre-orders.
Yeah.
Back with a vengeance.
Here we go.
Another retailer has told customers confident in their pre-orders for the next-gen systems that they may not be receiving them at launch. After all, Eurogamer is reporting that UK retailer Shop2 has been emailing some of its PS5 pre-order customers to warn them that they may not receive their systems at launch.
Oh, it's getting ugly.
Yeah, and I heard that was saying like when after the release of that stuff, they're basically saying, we've taken all your money, we've taken the pre-orders, but we might not have enough to go around, so you may have to wait until we get the second pack. Or the second shipment, as it were, or someone else cancels.
I mean, gosh, what else can come out of this year, man?
Yeah. They're not saying that. It says Shop2 isn't the only retailer making customers nervous about the status of their next-gen pre-orders. Amazon has warned customers for the PS5 and the Xbox Series consoles that those pre-orders may not be filled in the initial shipments.
I mean, it's
scary.
Again, it's one of those things that could only happen in a year like this. I mean, they may as well have just gone, you know what? Let's just push it all back until the following year. Let's just push it all back. Just sit tight. You're gonna get your systems. We'll refund you the money for now.
Yeah.
We know we've got your loot. We'll give that back to you, but we'll put your name on a database to say you've got priority. Jimmy's got priority.
Yeah.
Tones has got priority. If you want it, yeah. Your names are still there, so that as soon as you want to give the money back to us, it's yours.
I just find it interesting. Say we've been guaranteed 500 PS5s.
Yeah.
So we should only be putting out 500 pre-orders. That for me is like, all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Am I oversimplifying it? Do you know what I mean? Like,
don't talk logic, man. What are you doing?
I just feel like people are going, oh, look at the money, look at my bank, look at his bank account, and then you're like, no, what?
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, so that happened. Good news, man. Apex Legends. For all you Apex players out there. Mm-hmm. We're going into crossplay. Well, there's Respawn.
Finally,
yeah, man. Respawn announced on the official Apex Legend Twitter that crossplay beta will be coming to the game October 6th.
Nice.
Tuesday, right? It's Tuesday.
That'll be tomorrow.
So tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which is going to be super exciting. I'm looking forward to getting involved.
Well done, guys and girls. That's cool.
We've had. I was playing a bit today. There was some great synergy.
Oh yeah.
We had some great synergy.
Yeah.
I mean, there were some not so great synergy moments.
Oh yeah. You gonna call someone out?
No, I ain't calling no one out. But you know who you are. Talking about an R99. Anyway, so that's great. That's been really cool. So I'm really happy with that. Obviously, we've got a new mode coming out called Aftermarket, which comes out at the same time.
Aftermarket,
which is all about new game modes, new skins, new stuff. All comes out then. So I'm really looking forward to that and playing some Xbox mates.
Cool,
PC
man.
mates. I like crossplay. I like that. You remember years ago? Do you remember crossplay was just like, nah, man.
Yeah.
You know, Bloods and the Crips.
Yeah. It was like that.
No
you
one
on
is
this
ever
side
gonna
or
be doing
that side. You can't. We ain't cross playing nothing.
And then it was like Sony was like the only one that was like, nah. Everyone else was kind of into it. Like everyone was like, yeah, we can do crossplay. And then Sony's like, nah. And now finally, you know, we're stepping away from the Montague and the Capulet kind of thing, and we're getting to the point where it's like, all right, cool.
Montague and the Capulets. But yeah, no.
And we're getting to that point where it's cool and it's coming together. So that's really cool. I'm really happy about that, and I'm really going to be doubling down on Tuesday.
Yeah, no, it's a good way forward, man.
I'm so happy.
Good way to bring people together, you know what I mean?
What else? Resident Evil Infinite Darkness. We watched that teaser thing.
Oh,
earlier.
that cutscene.
Oh my god.
It was just a cutscene, really. You know, from probably from an old game.
It felt like,
because it didn't look aesthetically. It didn't look.
Claire didn't look like Claire.
Not really. No.
Not that they're saying, "Oh, this is our take on Claire." It's like, come on, man. Like at least the Resident Evil Zero Code Veronica kind of sat along the same lines when they did the reboot.
Yeah.
This one just looks like a totally different person. And if it is Claire, because I'm still kind of jury's out, is the red jacket is the only thing that makes me go, okay, that's Claire.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when we see Leon in the trailer and you just see his hair.
The boy band thing.
The Japanese boy band hair. And you're like, all right, well, yeah, that's Leon S. Kennedy. Can we give that brand new haircut, please?
But don't go mad. I'm saying let him have hair, innit?
Like, he can have hair. I mean, even Chris at this point has got a new haircut.
But just, he has. He looks dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. Like, can you know...
But can we just do something else?
Yeah, because it feels as though that Leon is still trapped in that rookie sort of aesthetic, where really in the timeline, he's really not. he's obviously grown from.
No, he's a bad man now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's grown from Resident Evil 2, but he's still rocking that same hair.
So this is just so you didn't catch it. This is the Netflix series called Resident Evil Infinite Darkness.
Infinite Darkness,
which is a CG animated, I should say.
Yeah. 3D
CG animated TV show coming to Netflix.
Wow.
I'm gonna watch it, obviously.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do it. We've got to do due diligence.
I'm always watching Capcom sell their licenses to Netflix because I just started watching Dragon's Dogma, which is good. But why has that guy got so many muscles, man? Calm down.
So many muscles?
Dude, the guy's got like 0.5% body fat and he lives in like a medieval village. What's that guy's eating? Bare protein and working out every day. It's like, no. This is unreasonable. It's weird.
Oh, okay.
And it also touches on the fact that I'm not a big fan of the new age anime, 3D anime thing.
Oh yeah,
I like the drawn look. I don't like the 3D thing.
I'm a traditionalist like that as well. I love the 2D drawn, sort of like filthy drawn look.
Yeah, but it's got this weird CBeebies vibe.
Ugh.
Like Saturday morning animated cartoons that you watch. You see your nephew watch or something.
Is it like what they did with? You remember Vampire Hunter D?
Yeah, no, it wasn't like that.
Like remember the sequel they did, and that was all 3D.
I didn't watch that.
Yeah.
What was that one we watched where it was about the young kid who was connected to like a ghost or something?
Oh,
do you remember ages ago? And it was like a 3D animated thing. I'll have to look.
That wasn't. You talking about Arjun?
Arjun.
Yeah.
That was. I didn't like that.
I didn't get on board with that, but for some reason, I think everybody else outside of us two are like, that anime's amazing.
Nah. But then it was like Castlevania. I really like Castlevania. I really like Castlevania's art style. It's a classic.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with the system. You don't. I can't help but feel like it probably isn't easier to do, but it feels cheaper.
Yeah, somehow it just, like you say, it's like the CBB aesthetic.
It's that weird kind of, let's just get this out quick time thing. Just draw the backgrounds and we'll figure the rest out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't like it. But I mean, I'm going to watch it because I like Dragon's Dogma and I was a big fan of the game.
Okay.
So, and I like Capcom as it is.
Yeah.
So standard.
I mean, for better or worse, for sins or glory or whatever, we like Capcom.
We like Capcom, bless them. So have you got anything else?
No. I mean, one bit of news about the Spider-Man PS5.
Oh God!
Update. You heard about that?
Why? It wasn't broken. The game's been out for ages.
Yeah.
Let it go. And we've even got a new one coming out.
Well, exactly right. But let me read you this quote from Game Rant. They said, according to Insomniac, the studio needed somebody else to do the facial capture that better matched the performance of the voice actor. I'm not even sure I know what that means, but presumably the facial structure of the actual voice actor didn't match with the new facial capture technology featured in a next-gen platform like the PS5. The bone structure of the previous motion capture and facial capture, for whatever reason, this is in their quote, for whatever reason, could not translate over to the subsequent version. That was ultimately why Peter Parker's face needed to be changed.
Is this for the remaster?
Yes, I believe so.
Right, so they're doing it because they were like, we couldn't get it to work in the remaster.
It sounds as though. It sounds as though. But then here's the thing: like, if you you look at comment sections anyway, you look at the picture and you're like, well, hold on, that new actor there, it's kind of Tom Holland though, isn't it?
It does look a lot like Tom Holland.
It's kind of Tom Holland though.
There's definitely a vibe.
Yeah. What happened? Tom Holland show up late to rehearsal. You just grab the next one who looked like him.
You step in, innit?
Yeah, you'll do.
Spiral. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I feel like if it's a technical thing and they've got to do it, then fine. But if it was like, we just prefer the look and I think it's closer to the Marvel thing, I'm like, no, it wasn't broken. It was absolutely fine. I had no issues with it.
Yeah.
But if you need to do that, then whatever. I'm still looking. I'm still gonna play the life out of Miles Morales.
Oh yeah, for sure. I just found it. It's very uncanny how much this dude looks like Tom Holland. And now the conjecture is starting about how. Well, obviously, in the previous game, you had Peter Parker and Black Cat, say.
That's right, yeah.
So, is it going to be a case of, if they're to meet again, is she going to look a little bit too much older than him? Or like...
Yeah, because isn't he supposed to be like mid-20s in this?
Exactly, right? So, and now he looks blatantly like 15.
Yeah.
Yeah. Much like Tom Holland does. So I don't know, man. It's
Tom Holland, I mean, what is he, early 20s?
He's like 24 now, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. That the whole thing just feels a bit like, okay, we're fine. The game's been out for a minute.
You do you, Insomniac.
Do what you got to do.
Do your thing.
You've done great. The game was great. The new game looks great. So crack on.
Yeah.
Anything else? You good?
Well, there was the Monster Hunter teaser.
Oh.
Capcom again. We're back to Capcom. You love it. Come on, you liked it, right?
I'm gonna swear that looks dog shit.
Where is it? Where's the jar?
I'll put it in the jar.
I'm sorry. I tried to hold him.
That is worth every single penny of that. I mean, why?
Yeah.
Why does it have to be military when it has nothing to do with that? You've clearly just gone, I'll just take what I did in Resi and just do it again over here with monsters, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just, there's no, it just, no. I mean, like I said, we will, to be fair, that's not the attitude. Can't bring it in, Tones.
Yeah.
The whole point
Come
is,
on now,
you picked a teaser where we've seen pictures of Tony Jaa and Milla Jovovich, right? We've seen that.
Yeah.
And we've clearly seen them in the what we consider classic Monster Hunter gear.
Of course, yeah.
But now they've kind of spun it and they've sent a teaser out.
Yeah.
That looks highly military. And
Tony Jaa's nowhere to be seen.
Tony Jaa's nowhere to be seen.
He's missing.
And it says on the actual title page,
yeah,
Milla Jovovich, Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Where's Tony Jaa in it? I'm like, the disrespect.
That's true. It's true. Like, come on. For ages, you've been pimping that, those little screenshots of her and Tony Jaa. Where's Tony Jaa in the teaser, man?
Yeah, dude. Like I said, we have to watch it.
It's gonna.
But who's it directed by? Paul W.S. Anderson, isn't it?
It's Paul W.S. Anderson. He's our favorite person.
And then what he did to the Resident Evil franchise, in my opinion, was just like, it hurt my feelings. I was mad.
I mean, what was wrong with the Resident Evil franchise?
They're all
franchise,
bad.
Man? Was it the part where she wakes up from a dream? Or the other part where she wakes up from a dream.
All the layers and dreams within dreams. All the just physics doesn't exist.
Oh, those films are crap.
She becomes basically a superhero.
Yeah.
It just
they're entertaining, but
they're so loose and they're so poorly written, and they're just it's just cheese on toast. But it still made a lot of money, so that's why he still gets a shot at the title. And something like Monster Hunter, you really could do something very cool with it. But I just feel like just looking at that teaser, I'm like, oh, this is going to be ropey.
Yeah. I mean, I don't expect cinema is what it is at the moment. It's a little bit wobbly. But even if it wasn't, I don't expect a big cinema release for that one. I'm not sure. It doesn't feel like something that would... Because did all of the Resident Evil films get released in the cinema?
I don't know.
Past number 2?
I remember the first one going, okay, I didn't hate that.
Yeah, no. We were I was cool with that.
But then everything after that just got more like, how many times you got to put the Umbrella logo in everything?
In it, man.
Even in my eyeball.
Yeah. it was a bit much, wasn't it?
I was just like, allow it. So yeah, no, that's that. I'm incredibly apprehensive, and I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, we'll see. Like we say, we'll give it the due diligence. They're probably going to make a number of these films because Monster Hunter is a big IP. Yeah. It pretty much writes itself. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
It's a shame because you could do something really cool with it. It's like I want to see the Conan license come back. Apparently they're doing it. Do you hear about this? They're doing a Netflix series on Conan.
I did hear a little bit about that. Yeah.
God, I hope that's good because I love that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, even though I watched the Conan the Barbarian last night and I was like, wow, I haven't seen this film in 15 years. And I watched it, I was like, this ain't a great movie,
Is it not good?
It's not what I remember it to be. I was like, what's
wrong with it?
I respect it. It's a classic. Yeah. But I was like, I don't remember this being this way. I remember really enjoying this.
Oh, man.
And now I'm like, I've still got 40 minutes to go.
Oh, wow. You're watching the clock, yeah?
Only one time. I checked once. I was like, is this... It must be in it. I mean, James L. Jones is a bad man, isn't it? And Arnold Schwarzenegger is still quality.
Wait, is James L. Jones in
he's
that?
The main villain.
Wow. I mean, wow.
Exactly.
That's been how long since I've watched it.
Which is why you need to watch it again. And I guarantee you walk away going, that's not how I remember it.
Sometimes you got to leave your childhood movies in the...
You really do.
Just in the past, man. I mean,
because you watch it again, you're like, no, this is bait.
Yeah.
I love like I said, I've got the books. I got the Conan book and everything. All the collection, right?
Yeah.
And I love that world, but... Yeah.
Oh god.
I've still got to watch Conan the Destroyer again as well, which apparently is even more campy. I can't even remember that one even more.
Wasn't there about 3 of those films, and then he showed up in Red Sonja at some point?
Sorry, there were 2 of them films.
Right.
Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer. There was never a third, and then he shows up. Conan the Cimmerian shows up in
Red Sonja. That's it. Yeah.
Which was also dreadful.
It was that. Oh,
apparently.
Because that's got Bridget Nielsen in it, hasn't it?
I want to watch Red Sonja because I haven't seen that film in about 15 years.
I don't think I ever saw Red Sonja, so that might be a little bit of a treat.
We should do that and bring that up next week. All right. Speaking of Conan, I noticed that Funcom Games, who is now owned by Tencent, because Tencent owns everything now, they're going for that monopoly board.
Oh my gosh!
So Tencent is the Chinese company that buys everyone, and buys game companies left, right, and center. They got big deals with that. They got big deals with Blizzard.
That was it. Yeah.
So they released a game called Conan Exiles a long time ago, which is a open world survival online horror. Horror. I keep saying survival horror. Like horror has to follow the word survival.
It's October. It's horror season, so it can be allowed.
Yeah. So basically, Conan Exiles is a survival game where you are dropped into the world, naked with nothing, and they go survive, live, nothing. You have to make the clothes on your back. Like it's that much. It's a case of I have to go over to that bush over there and get twine, and then like try and throw something together.
Get twine,
and like I have to go over there and like get wood and do that and make a fire and fight this and do that and build a house and pick up stones off the ground to make a hatchet that I can cut that tree down. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
So I've been playing it for about 2 days, and I am obsessed. Now the thing is, I don't play this online because I don't know if anyone's ever going to listen to this and go, they're a big Conan Exile fan. Look, I want to be one of those big bad boy Conan players, like where you can raid other people's houses and you can do all that stuff, and it's really hard and online.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that. I'm playing it offline just to kind of get a feel for the game.
Just to get you feel. Yeah. Of course, like
and the mechanics. This game,
that's sensible.
This game tells you nothing. It drops you in and goes, right, what are you gonna do? Up the top, it says craft the clothing or eat, drink, kick, whatever.
Yeah,
but it didn't tell you how.
So
there's no button. It's just like
that was gonna be my question. Did they not give you any like button
at the bottom right? It changes if you press it. So I just kind of started mashing the controller and then it started doing things. Like, all right, that's what that is. That's what that is.
Yeah.
And it's not unlike when you're in the game. You're sitting there going, okay, how do I do? Okay, that's how you're learning to survive by going, can I pick that up? Can I eat that? How do I get this? You have to try it. You have to do it. And then as you go, you have to find water. Luckily, they give you a map. So well, if I head north, I'm going to find water, right?
Yeah.
This, apparently, the map I've read somewhere is 52 square kilometers, right? It's massive.
52 square.
Yeah. And I was like, so I just, build a house and do stuff.
Yeah.
So I tried doing that. And I got killed. And I lost all my... And then basically your body falls on the floor. And then if you don't get back to it in a certain amount of time, it disappears and you lose all your stuff.
Who'd you get killed by?
I got killed by hyenas.
You got murked by hyenas?
Wow, a bunch of hyenas.
Wow.
So I got killed by hyenas. So I was like, right. And then the hyenas kind of like were in the area where my body was. So I couldn't get to it. So I was like, right, I can't get my stuff back. So I'm going to have to go back and have to pick all the cheese and I'm going to get all the
Oh my gosh.
So as the time went on, I started realizing I built the house, got the blacksmith thing, and your house gets bigger and you start figuring it out and you start and you get to that point. Okay, I can't fight those. And there's people in that village that will kill me. And then,
yeah.
And as you kind of play it more, bearing in mind I've put about 16 hours into this, so there's a lot more to do, right?
Yeah.
But just straight off the bat, the more I played it, the more I figured out how to survive in that world. The more I figured out I can't do that, I can't pick this, I can fight that, I can carry that, I can craft this armor, I can craft a rudimental sword, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
The more I played this game, the more I was like, I'm figuring this out. By myself. I deserve to be here. There was this kind of thing of like, I'm not going to let this game beat me. It turned into this weird love for the game, love-hate relationship where I was like, no, I'm not going to bow because I just died and lost all my stuff.
Right.
I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to build this box. I'm going to build that house in a really hard place that I can get to, that nothing else can get to me.
Yeah.
And then you just start feeling like, I'm figuring this out. I'm a survivor. I'm starting to do this. And you get really obsessive about it. And it got really into it. And
you start really taking ownership of the situation.
You start taking ownership of the situation, going, no, I'm going to go down and craft this. I know you start knowing the map around your base. Right. I know if I go there, if I've put my house near water, and then I can go and get that stone from here and that from there. Right?
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
It's interesting and it's really good. And what was interesting is the question I had for you that made me, the thing I thought about when I was playing this game was, have you ever felt like that in any other game where you're like, I have done this myself.
Right.
And I figured it out.
Yeah.
And I deserve to be a part of this community. Or I did not not community, that's wrong, because there are people that have been playing the game for years and they're amazing at it. What I'm saying is,
like, being a part of that world that you're playing,
where you're like, no, I've put the hours in, I figured it out. There are still things to learn. I'm guaranteed, like, I haven't even scratched the surface of this game, but it gave me the feeling of, I'm getting the hang of this,
right?
And I'm not just gonna die, and I'm not naked in the desert anymore.
Yeah.
Do you feel like in gaming, has there ever been a scenario in your life, where you're like, no, I've earned the right to be here. I've figured this out. I'm not gonna die now or in 10 seconds. And that, have you ever had that?
Wow. Interestingly, I can't really recall ever having that feeling of, right, I've earned this, because, well, do you know what? I can probably lightly touch on Firewatch.
Firewatch is a good one.
Firewatch was a great game, actually. And it was specifically great because it wasn't obvious in that sense. It didn't really give you a lot to go on. It was just like, I mean, it's been a good few years since I played it now, so forgive me, but you're in the woods and you kind of need to track your way around and just kind of piece things together as you might find them. And you don't necessarily you barely get instructions. And I don't remember you getting a map necessarily either. You just kind of had to remember.
I don't think so. I can't remember.
Yeah, you just kind of had to just kind of feel your way around a little bit. I like that. I do like that sense of, not necessarily being given everything, at least straight away anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think the closest thing I think in other terms is fighting games. I do think that there is a degree, not so much of the survival.
What are you saying about fighting games, man?
As a positive thing.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
Your face just changed.
No,
no, I think that, you get into a game where I'm watching you learn, as much as there are tutorials and challenges and combos and stuff like that.
Oh, right, yeah.
You do get put into the ranked session or the casual matches, and you're going up against another player, and unless you go into the dojo and you bang out combos and you figure out how your character works, you put in the time, and as you start getting it and you go into the arena and you start fighting, you start going, no, I can beat you, no, I can't, and then you start feeling, you start going, no, I deserve to be here, I've worked hard, I've got to the point where I can put in the shift and I can do that combo, and I know how your matchup works.
No, that is to a degree that's true, and here's why I say that is because, using that analogy, you get a Mortal Kombat booklet, or you get a Street Fighter booklet or something like that. How many times have you come across players that will just spam fireballs or spam
from the far end, zoning,
yeah. How many times have you come across
so many
spamming zones?
And won and lost to them as well,
like we've been there, so I feel as though with that you can just be like, oh right, okay, so how do I so there's 10 moves I've got to learn here, which is the easiest one. All right, it's the fireball. All I need to do is just do that with my thumb. Okay, I'm just gonna spam that for a little while, and then see if that takes me through. Whereas, compared to what you're playing now, there's nothing. You can't spam nothing. You're just from what you've described. You're just dropped in the middle of this thing. Figure it out. I can't imagine going into a beat 'em up without any kind of quarter circle forwards or like charging down instructions or anything like that, and being told, all right, figure this.
But you got to think, back in the day in the arcade world, it was that's exactly what it was. You went and sat in front of an arcade machine. There wasn't anything that told you what to do. You had to figure it, or your mate turned around and go, oh, I figured out how to do this move, watch, and you're like, oh right, how did you do that? And then there was never a moment where, or you were playing someone else on the other machine, and they did something to you, and you're like, yo, you lose, and you're like, how did you do that?
Yeah. No, do you know what? The thing is, one can be forgiven for thinking that there weren't any instructions on arcades of, pertaining to how to do certain moves, but there were. It's just that they were very, very rare. Sometimes you would have this little strip
on the thing.
This little sticker strip right on the bottom of the screen, right on the bottom of the glass, and it will tell you like Orchid's move or flipping Scorpion's move or Ryu's moves or something like that. But it was very, very rare. I grant you that.
And that's my point. Is most people didn't have that. It was a case of someone did it to me, or someone paid £100 into a machine and tried out everything they could figure out, and they worked it out. And you got your ass kicked by someone just like, like I said with this game with Conan Exiles. And like I said, I'm very new in the game. To preface that, I don't want anyone going, oh yeah, but like you're a noob. I am a noob. It's just it triggered an emotion in me. It triggered a thought process where I was like, okay, I am figuring this out. And only really I YouTubed one thing, which was like, what does that bar at the bottom mean?
Yeah.
And apparently I haven't got there yet.
Yeah.
Apparently it's a case of you need to build a base in a safe place, get strong, figure it out, and then the purge come and attack you, and you have to survive it.
The purge?
Yeah.
What the hell's that?
No idea.
But it hasn't happened to you yet.
No.
Oh,
I'm
right.
miles away from it. But the whole point of it is that the bar fills up as you play the game.
Yeah.
And apparently,
yeah,
there you get attacked by the purge starts spawning as it crosses a line.
Wow.
And then after that point, you have to survive an onslaught.
Yeah.
By the end of it, so you've got to build a base and a fortress get strong enough so that you survive that.
And you've got no idea. There's no indication as to what this.
No, at the bottom there's a thing that says once it crosses that white line, purge starts spawning. That's all it says.
You better get to a safe place. Or
no, it doesn't say that. It just says they start spawning.
Jesus.
It doesn't say, and that is cool.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that as a feature. I like that as a mechanic. That's quite exciting because it's you think you know the world that you're in, and you think you're, like in your example, you're crafting all these tools, you're crafting your clothes and all of the rest of it. But there's going to be a purge.
Something's coming. There's another one.
Can you deal with it? Have you crafted enough? Do you know what I mean?
Are you strong enough?
Yeah.
Like, because most people are like, yeah, but I built I bought my little hut, got a door in it. That'll keep them out. But apparently that's not even close. You have to like summon deities to come and defend your home.
You got to summon deities.
And if you're playing it online, right, during the hours of 9 and 6, for example, right, in-game time, that is open season for other players. Because it's like an MMO style thing. Yeah, to come and wreck your stuff and steal your gear.
No way. Yeah,
they can come and steal you, wreck your house, rob you blind, and bounce. Between those hours. So people have started getting this thing where they're like hiding their storage boxes in the foundations of their houses. So if they want to get to it, they have to destroy like one cube of their foundation to get to. People are being so creative, and from what I've seen,
that's fascinating.
It's cool. And that's why I'm like, wow, when you just kind of create a game where you go, all right, here you go, figure it, go. Yeah. Just go. There's like a slight narrative, but at the end of the day, it's like clock's ticking, and when this line hits when that bar touches that line, something's gonna happen. You better be ready. That's kind of cool.
I like that. I like the sound of that. Here's a question.
Go on. I just turned into Conan, the review.
Do you feel as though that could be something we could see more of in the next generation?
Oh God, I hope so.
Because I think I would like that. I mean, if we think about the recent games that we've played, as much as they have their own challenges, like Ghosts and, Last of Us or whatever, there's still a degree of hand-holding in that respect. There's still a degree of...
Yeah, I think, Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Sekiro, the From Software games, basically, they're kind of famous or infamous for being non-hand-holdy, hard as balls games. But there's a clear narrative and objective. Yeah. Excuse me. And I think that I would love to have more mechanics or a AAA survival game.
This is what I was going to say, like a good, nice... Like a AAA,
you're talking Naughty Dog bangs out something, maybe not Naughty Dog, but Capcom,
or maybe if CD Projekt Red banged out like a massive open world survive, like just drop you in the middle of nowhere and say,
figure it out,
just figure this out, mate.
But even if it was a single player offline thing where it wasn't like, but beware because some other players could come and troll you or wreck your stuff. Yeah. Because there are games like Rust and Ark and all these other survival games, or Darkwood, which is I was showing the horror version.
Ah, yeah, that looks interesting actually.
It's great. I think it would be really cool to see a genre of gaming taken on by a AAA developer. Yeah. And maybe it's not fair to say Funcom isn't, but I mean like a really high, let's say high budget.
Yeah. Like the ones that we're kind of attuned to, sort of thing.
High budget, big money, full on game that's kind of like, we drop you in it and something's coming. Yeah. And all you can do is get ready.
All you can do is just Try and survive. I mean, imagine if that was I don't know. Imagine if that was like Resi or something like that. You just woke up with nothing,
and you got to figure it out
in the middle of an apocalypse.
Yeah,
and you've just got to figure this out.
There was another game that came out that was like a desert kind of Mad Max type thing.
Yeah,
and it was like you were naked. You started like in the desert naked. Same with like Conan, and it was like you have nothing. And that was it.
I like that. That's quite it's an interesting angle. It's an interesting angle. I don't think we get much of that in like proper mainstream sort of gaming. I would love to see more of it.
I'd love to see more of it.
I think people would take to it as well. I think the gamer base would take to it as well, because like you say, you develop that sense of just serious ownership. Like you knew nothing from Adam when you were dropped into the middle of this world, but then you start figuring out your certain buttons and your certain mechanics and combinations, and you just piece by piece.
Yeah.
You've kind of mapped yourself to it. You've mapped your brain to it. You're like, okay, I get how this world works without it having to tell me. It just kind of adds to the explorative aspect of gaming in that sense.
Yeah,
and I love exploration, as you know. So
this is the thing, because I haven't even touched a fraction of the map.
Yeah,
like jungles and mountains and da.
You've not even done 1K, fam. You got like 50
something. And this is what's interesting is like, say you get through that and then you can go and explore somewhere else. And I love this idea of a huge, I mean, they've just added this, there's like loads and loads of expansions for it and stuff. But like, I think it's something that other games could definitely, because it's not unlike battle royale games when you land with nothing, you got to find your guns and put them together and da. But this is kind of like, you're thirsty, you're hungry, it's too hot. You haven't got clothes.
Right.
And you got to kind of find a safe place for the night. What if a sandstorm comes? It could kill you.
Have you ever been caught in a sandstorm?
Yeah, I got murdered dead. Yeah. That was bad as well, because I was in a fight.
Yeah.
And then it just got really bad. And then one of the guys in the middle of the night got killed by an alligator, and then as I was running, this sandstorm just came in. It was like something out of Predator. It was really it was intense, because it got to a point where you're like, wow, he's dead, like I'm running for my life, and then the sandstorm came in. I'm like, this is hurting me.
Oh jeez.
And then you got to find shelter.
Oh, wow.
And it's pretty, like, some of the mechanics are pretty clunky, and the fight combat style isn't great. But
as a concept,
yeah, I was in love with it, and I think if we saw more of that, I think it would be amazing. I really think it would be something special.
It will definitely inject something. Well, I don't want to say new, because obviously it exists now, but it will definitely bring something to gaming if, like we say, those top AAA developers started developing games in that regard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I think that would be, if we started seeing some kind of like, I would love to see a game that just caught on like wildfire, that was just like a scoreboard of how long someone survived in the world, like a leaderboard of this guy survived 100 days.
Yeah.
And it ramps up, or you can have like Dark Souls style where it crosses over. I died from this, don't touch that. You can leave little notes and stuff. Like Death Stranding kind of style.
Yeah.
Because having something like that would be amazing. But I was just thinking, have you ever had that feeling of, wow, that really felt good, I really earned that?
Do you know what? I don't know when the last time I've had that feeling is.
Really?
That sounds kind of sad, doesn't it? Like,
not really.
It sounds kind of lonely in a way. But no, I'm trying to think really hard of something that I've really felt challenged by. But wow, nothing springs to mind. I might have to answer that next week.
Because I think the biggest thing we found out now is that gaming are trying to make games more accessible to everyone.
Well, yeah, this is it. We're very much in that space now.
So, I mean, we were playing. There's a perfect example where I was actually really shocked. Was not what was it? Not Zoo Tycoon, Roller Tycoon, or something like that. Basically, it's the Frontier Games theme park one, Coaster Tycoon, I think it's called.
Oh yeah.
So I was playing Planet Zoo, and the thing with Planet Zoo over Planet Coaster, I think it's called, was the Planet Zoo tutorials were great because it took you to different maps in different places, in different scenarios, and it really got you to a point where you go, okay, and it's deep. That game has layers.
Okay.
Whereas Planet Coaster, I think, has none of that. Has no tutorials.
Nothing whatsoever.
Nothing else. No, and it just kind of cracks on. And I found that really interesting. But it's, as much as I think, yes, it is something you could probably learn on your own. It's not the same as, it's not survival.
Right.
You know what I mean? And obviously Dark Souls and Demon's Souls, and we keep bringing them up. But I think, having games now that aren't necessarily wildly accessible for people isn't wrong. I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing that, you know, the hook of the game is that you have to earn it. Like,
yeah,
you know,
because it's
but then, you know, sorry not to cut you off, but you know, the perfect example in Conan is that I chose to play offline by myself.
Yeah.
Now, if they put me in with everybody else and there was people raiding my base all the time, that's very different. But I plan to eventually, if I got to a point where I felt good enough, go to that because it's allowed me to kind of figure it out for myself and then move up from there. And I think that's the way to do it.
Yeah, I think that's the way forward, man. It will be good to get more of that into gaming again. I mean, it's almost like... it kind of reminds me of how games were back in the day, sort of thing, where, I mean, granted, you had a certain set of instructions, but, you know, the games were challenging enough that if you ever got to the end of them, you felt like you earned that. I suppose that is the last time I've ever felt like that. It was probably back in the 80s, probably early 90s when I was playing, you know, certain games on, you know, say like Alex Kidd or something like that on the Master System. If anybody out there remembers that game, great game.
Yeah.
Standard. You know, just that era of gaming.
That was hard, but I don't think that was hard by design.
No.
Or if it was, great. But I think a lot of the time it felt like they were just making games and going, this is what you need to do.
Yeah, probably.
And I remember, I keep bringing up these From Software games, but everyone was like, wow, there's no tutorial, it doesn't hold your hand, and it just it was really hard, and it was great. And everyone were like, this is great, it separates the men from the boys, and excuse me. But it was very much like, it did feel like the selling point was how hard it was.
Yeah.
And I think as successful as they are, I just feel like there is a gap in the market. There isn't a gap in the market because there are games being developed by great developers like Conan and I don't know about Rust, but you know, Rust and Ark and 7 Days to Die and all these like games.
Yeah.
But I think there is a gap in the big boy. You know, if there was a AAA like mega money market to go, we're gonna make a survival game. That, like, see, imagine if CD Projekt Red just turned around and was like, we're going to make a survival game.
Yeah.
That'd be dope. I just think
they would make bank off that as well. Like, people would be all over it.
Like, this really beautiful, because The Forest is the one you've played. Is another survival game that looks great, and it's such a cool concept.
I do need to complete that, but it does look incredible.
I just feel like there is an opportunity and a time for games to be not necessarily less accessible, but the hook is let's see how you survive in my world. Yeah,
let's see how you can earn your right
to be here. That's cool. Yeah. And I really like that idea as a concept. And I don't think it's necessarily polarizing or dividing the market. I just think that
it's just presenting a a nice challenge. And you know, and challenges can be fun. They are fun.
Absolutely.
And I think there should be more of that. You know, it shouldn't be a case of, you know, I go and play a game and then I'll just chuck the control pad against the wall because it's too hard or something like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, no, you know, I want to be challenged. I am that person that does like a challenge. So,
yeah, I think, I just started playing this game on a whim, and it's just giving me this feeling of, I really want to get good at this. I really want to survive here. I really want to figure this out.
Yeah.
Because the map is so big, I want to explore, and the fact that the want to explore is there, is great, as opposed to I'm just going to try and achieve an objective.
Right, that was kind of touching on my next question a little bit, because let's take this, right? Let's take what was it, Conan Exiles?
Yeah, Conan Exiles.
Let's take Conan Exiles and put it up against Ghost of Tsushima.
Right.
Both big maps. I don't know how big the map is in Ghost, but it's an entire
it's
archipelago of islands, isn't it? Yeah. So anyway, point being, you have to explore these maps.
Yeah.
Is there a sense of accomplishment that is, I mean, granted you haven't finished Conan Exiles yet, but is there a sense of accomplishment's the wrong word? Is there a sense of, I want to explore more of this map, like the feeling that you get from Conan Exile?
No.
And is that because, I mean, I'm probably answering the question here, is that's probably because it doesn't have that element of just figure this out?
Yeah. Yeah, well put. That's exactly it. I think that pretty much hits the nail on the head. I think the large thing about Tsushima is that and I don't know if this is the case with Conan. I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Especially in Ghost of Tsushima, at a certain point, you are a superhero.
Yeah.
Like, you can wade through like numbers of people, and you still walk away fine.
Right.
There's the stakes aren't that high after a certain point. Like, I liberated Tsushima. I did it. I clocked it, right?
Yeah.
I liberated all the islands.
Well done.
And I did it all, right? I really wanted to kind of experience everything.
Yeah.
But at no point did I turn around and go, oh, I'm really looking forward to running to that part of the island.
Right. Okay.
If anything, I was like, I'm going to fast travel there and then run to the bit I need to get to.
Yeah.
And they are very generous with their fast travel in Ghost of Tsushima. I didn't feel the need to go, I want to explore everywhere. I just didn't feel it. I didn't want to, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
So I guess that kind of, in that sense, this is kind of like another question. I suppose, could it be, because we've spoken about open world fatigue before.
Yeah, I got it in Ghost of Tsushima. Halfway through, I think I overdid it, and I had to step away for like a week.
You did, yeah. But you're in an open world with Conan Exile, but the difference here being, you know, you're just figuring out this world. So do you feel that that aspect of it could take away from the open world fatigue and keep you driving forward?
I think so.
To wanting to explore that world.
Yeah.
You know?
Jesus, you're bringing out the big guns today with it.
Hey man, I'm just getting all philosophical on you. Yeah, I was saving it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know. I feel like with Conan, for example, having your base, and then figuring out what's around your base, and then just slowly pushing out.
Yeah.
There's something about that that makes it very like, this is my space. I need to figure out how to survive here. And then eventually I need to go further north because I need to find iron, or I need to do this. And there's only the iron deposits are in the mines up to the north.
Right.
Far from my base.
Yeah.
If I die, I drop everything.
Yeah.
I have to tool up at home.
Yeah.
And then I need to make an expedition
to
that part of the map to get what I need and then get back.
Right. Yeah.
And there's something about being like, am I ready? Have I got my gear? Like, very kind of almost Witcher oils and potions, but at the same time, I've got my water flask. Check. Have I got food to eat? Check.
Yeah.
If there's no water where I'm going,
I'm
going to be in trouble. Okay. So have I got the right weapons? Okay, cool. Clothing, and you go. I never felt that way in Ghost because it's like, I am armed to the teeth all the time.
Yeah.
And I also feel like with the storyline being what it is, you're being told to focus on a specific point. You don't get hungry, you don't get thirsty, you don't get tired. And you don't really, you can just crack on. Whereas when you're like, I need to figure out if I get over there, am I going to run out of food? Am I going to run out of water? Not to say that should be in the game, because that's not what Ghost of Tsushima is about.
No.
But what makes it interesting in Conan, for example, and like I keep having to reiterate, I'm very new in this game.
Yeah, no, of course.
The fact is, I don't know if I want to go so far from home.
Right.
Which is fascinating. Where you're like, I don't want to get too far from my base. I don't want to push too far because I might get stuck and I can't get back. Or if I die, I'm going to spawn back at the house with nothing. And then I've got to try and get back to where I was with nothing. And hopefully you've backed yourself up a little bit. But
You know, this kind of it kind of makes me think, from what you're telling me about Conan Exiles, that you know, the area that you're in, that you have to figure out and stuff like that. You know, you figure out how to survive.
You think it stabilizes, don't you?
What?
You think it stabilizes?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I was gonna say that it almost feels as though you are figuring out a character in the story. It's like the area is very much as important as a character as you yourself are the character before you move forward, which kind of for some reason makes me think of Shadow of the Colossus, where, you know, obviously all of the levels weren't, they were levels, but they were bosses, or rather the bosses were levels, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it from what you're telling me of Conan Exiles, it kind of has a familiar ring to it. I don't know why. I don't know if I've bridged it well enough, but it does feel as though, from what you're saying, that the area is very much that boss that you need to figure out before you can move forward. Might drop them out.
Yeah, I know. And on that note, we're going to stop talking about it. I can't top that if I tried. I think you're right. Well, you dropped the hammer on that one. All right, cool. Say no more. So battle shots.
Battle shots, right?
Is it me or you? No, because I know I brought the pain last time. It's your turn.
Man. All right, you've caught me off guard. Right. Let me think quickly.
I've got one if you need.
All right, wait. Let me think quickly. Let me dive into my chest here. Right, I'm just going to pick somebody random.
Go on.
I'm going to pick Silence.
From
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, the villain from... Yeah.
Yeah. Silence versus...
That's a really obscure one.
I know, it is obscure. Isn't it?
I think he's going to lose regardless.
Why?
Tell me the next one.
Wait, hold on. I've not even presented the challenger and you're like, no, Silence dead.
One.
All right. Silence, yeah?
Yeah.
Silence versus... Oh, no, I'm stuck.
Do you want me to take it?
Yeah, start again.
All right. I'm saying Conan versus Drogo.
Wait, what? Conan versus Drogo?
Yeah. Who's going to drink more?
Wait. Is Drogo actually in the game, though? Actually, no, but we can allow it. We can allow it. Who's going to drink more? All right.
We did, what's her name? Shuri versus... Did we know? We did... Black Widow versus
General Okoye. Yeah, no, you're quite right.
Conan versus Drogo. Bosh! Big boy versus big boy. Wow. And fun fact. Drogo actually played Conan the Barbarian in the reboot.
Yes, he did. So so it's really Conan versus Conan.
Conan versus Conan.
Crown for a king. Conan versus Drogo. I'm saying Drogo.
Why? You're just being petulant.
Why am I being petulant?
You looked at me in a way that was like, I know you want me to say Conan, but I'm not saying it.
I've got no idea what you're talking about. Yeah.
Go on.
No,
yourself. And you can't give me the trauma thing because he ain't got none.
No, there's no trauma there. there's no trauma for either of them. But I do feel as though that Drogo is a lot... Do you know what? Drogo is a lot more strong-minded than I think Conan is.
Okay.
I think he's a lot more strong-minded, considering the fact that, like, Conan just rolls around, just dipping his pen, and just...
We talking about the movie, though, right?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. You know, just getting nicely, just sozzled a little bit, probably. Yeah. I don't know.
Exactly, he drinks a lot.
There you go.
Both big boys, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know. It actually, do you know what? This is a tough one.
Isn't it?
This is actually a tough one for me.
You are welcome.
Oh, man.
I would say Conan, but that's me.
Why are you going to say Conan?
Because that's all he does.
So he's just got the tolerance.
He's got the tolerance.
He's got the tolerance.
Up to that point.
Yeah. Do you know what? Yeah, no, okay, yeah. I can settle on that.
Yes.
He has got the tolerance.
Also, anyone listening, who do you think would win in a fight?
Oh, gosh.
That's what I want to know.
In a fight?
Yeah.
Nah, Drogo. I'm backing Drogo.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow, controversial.
I'm backing Drogo,
I'm not going to comment. I think we should leave that to you guys. Whoever's listening, hit
comment.
Me up. Let us know. This is controversial. Conan the Barbarian versus Drogo. Is it Drogo? It's Drogo, right?
Khal Drogo.
Yeah. So, let us know.
Khal Drogo all the way. Why is that even a question? Like,
you need to stop.
All right, I'll stop. Yeah, all right, I'll calm down.
Talk about my boy like that. All right, guys. As always, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you.
It was awesome, awesome. I really enjoyed that today. And if you have any games you want us to talk about, or topics you want us to talk about, or the battle shots you want us to talk about,
please hit us up.
Dude, let us know.
Let us know. We're on the IGs. We're on the YouTubes. You know,
keep it civil.
Keep it civil.
And cheers, guys. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Enjoy your week.
Later.
Peace.